Hello and welcome back. It's me again, and today we're going to be discussing the Turnaway Study. And for a change, this will be a fairly well researched episode. Way more, way more than just Wikipedia, trust me. And today's run, again going for chest completion marks, is The Lost. I will also be aiming for Hush. So, this could be a lot of attempts. I may not even get this today because The Lost is The Lost, although I probably will. The Lost isn't that hard of a character. But a boss like Hush could be dicey. Close, very close. Oh, excellent start. Anyway, I am going to do an episode talking about my own personal, not findings, but I guess final opinions on abortion in general. I don't think that will be this episode because hold on. I really want that. I really want that. So I'm gonna go find the boss first. I am still planning on doing an episode on the, again, just more directly comparing pro-life and pro-choice and all that good stuff. But the thing is, yeah, I don't care. There is so much that I've researched about the Turnaway Study itself. So much. Oh, I also have the shop to visit, don't I? So I'm fairly confident that today in its entirety, maybe even tomorrow, depending on how long this takes, will be just on the Turnaway Study. Again, a lot to talk through, and a lot of references for today, too. For the most part, no, it should be easy enough to add reference links to everything. I've already gotten approval from YouTube to add hyperlinks in my descriptions. That is not bad. I will keep that, and I will go to the shop instead and use my reroll there. Methinks. Where shop? Where shop? I'm burning daylight. I'm burning moonlight. I'm burning light itself. So much wow. And the pattern continues, I guess. Wow. Wow, I am so incredibly fast. I wish I could have re-rolled something. I also wish I could have gotten, like, a key or a bomb. That would have been nice. But, oh well. This is what I'm rolling with, I guess. Anyway, the Turnaway Study itself is a UC San Francisco study of 1,000 women from across 30 different pregnancy centers. Sorry, abortion clinics, not pregnancy centers, a little different. Led by Diana Green Foster, who is also the director of UC San Francisco's Advancing New Standards in Reproductive Health, also known as ANSWER. And the study itself ran from 2008 to 2016. Stay away from me. Okay, good. And is this risky? Yes, it is. For this reason. But they're slow, so it's okay. Careful, careful, careful. Good. Good. One whole penny. Probably not worth it, but who can say? Touch the fire. Oh. Okay. Thank you. Finally, a bomb. And, of course, it's the boss, not actually the item room or shop. That's great. Yeah, I'm not a fan of losing the Eternal D6 on floor 1, but let's be honest here. The Pinking Shears is one of my favorite items. Even if it's not as amazing as I make it out to be, it is still very good. I hope you can appreciate that much. This is also a very scary room. Like, what is this room? Why would they add this room? This room feels very mean. Oh, okay. Keys, great. What I really want is the item room, though, and there we are. So I've described what the Turnaway Study is, but hold on. Yeah, that's not bad. Actually, I'm gonna get the whatchamacallit, plus 10 luck trinket soon. So, you know, that's gonna be pretty nice. Also, watch me obliterate this boss. Oh. Well, still. Uh-huh. And... dead. Yeah, I wish I could have re-rolled that, but whatever. We go. So, the Turnaway Study, by the way, is available as a book, a play, apparently, and a series of lectures. A lecture series, if you will. That is where you can find the study. No, you cannot find the study publicly. You can find other journal articles that reference the study and are built off of it, but the data is not publicly available, a point that I will get to later. Get back to later. Oh, great. I did all of this for a bomb, I guess. Go get him. Ooh, okay. So the study itself found that... Hold on. I'm thinking about some stuff. Neat. Why here? I'm curious. I assume the map will wrap back around. Ugh, I need more damage. Hey, you're charmed. Stop trying to attack me. More penny is always nice. Stop. There we are. The study found that women who had abortions were generally better off financially than those that didn't, and emotionally. They generally... like, this is the biggest result of the study, is that the vast majority of women who had abortions did not regret their decision 5 years later. Now, the exact number of women who didn't regret their abortions 5 years later varies a little bit, weirdly enough, depending on where you try to find the Turnaway Study. Yeah, I'll do this. I recognize that I haven't taken the Pandora's box to the whatchamacallit yet, but I'll do that later. Also, oh, this is not worthwhile, I think. Well, okay, how about this? I will take it because I should be getting mostly mostly explosions. Yeah. Maybe I can get explosion immunity, who knows? Also, this should help to offset the damage loss that I just incurred. Whoa. I just need to never get that close to an enemy when I attack them. So, yeah, depending on where you look you will see different numbers for the actual results of the study. The main result being, again, that women didn't regret their decision. You will see anything from 95% to 99% to, I've seen 97.5%. The numbers seem to fluctuate quite a bit depending on which study you're actually talking about. And yes. Oh, yeah, it was risky. I shouldn't have done that. There we are. We grab you. I am reluctantly grabbing you, and we go. So, yeah, that's weird and all. It's mainly because you don't really see the data itself. You're just seeing the results of the data, you know? Yeah, I'll go in here. Gulp. That is fantastic. Now I can have a second trinket. I am tempted to keep the Book of Revelation on me, but oh well. So many explosions. So many explosions. So yeah, you'll see a bunch of different numbers for the result. I mean, they're all generally above 90%, so it's not like that crazy or anything. Let's blow you up. Okay, well, I got 2 pennies out of it. Yeah, shop first. Oh, hi. So, I don't know, maybe that isn't that alarming or anything. I don't think it's that bad overall. It's a little weird, but again, we're not actually seeing the data, we're just seeing different people's responses to the data. And yeah, there should be like one concrete number that the data alludes to, but there's also statistics and confidence intervals and that sort of stuff. I'll buy it. I am glad I bought it. Wow. So maybe that's all that's happening there. Sty! And multi-dimensional baby. Okay, I can work with this. I need more tears up, though. I would prefer it. Ooh. Ooh. Be careful of bombs. Of explosions. At least I'm gonna have a lot of resources. Okay, including batteries. Blow up. There we are. I'm getting scared. Every time it doesn't blow up, I'm scared. It's the new norm. Oh, he blew up. He blew up. He blew up, but the first guy didn't. That's why I'm scared. Where? Okay. Ugh. I probably... Ugh. I need to keep a distance. I should have probably bombed something. Yeah, 2/3 isn't that great. Right is right. More speed and range. Great, thanks. I might not be able to get to Mega Satan, but I should be able to get to Delirium. Also, considering how fast I am, I might try and take on both the Boss Rush and Hush. It is doable, especially with the pinking shears. Ooh, very nice. Explode already, you're scaring me. There, like that. Perfect, thanks. Let's see, where was I? I have barely talked about this, considering how much there is to talk about. I apologize, this game can get a little crazy sometimes. Anyway, that is the gist of the study itself. Okay, great. And its result, so the first publications regarding the study came out in 2016, I want to say, maybe a little later. But it seems like every few years there are more publications that come out that use the Turnaway Study's data, and it is occasionally and repeatedly praised by a number of organizations, not just pro-choice organizations, but even NPR has praised the Turnaway Study for championing and truly representing the voices of women. Also, it's very ironic that I get a bedroom when I am the Lost. I still need to sleep in more beds. And nothing under there. Horf! I still need to die from that. Yeah, I still need more sleep. I think I need 3 more beds? I think? Anyway. Neat, thanks for the Eternal Heart. Ah. I can't be near any of you. Ever. Nice. When am I gonna get teleported already? I'm waiting for it. Although I'm guaranteed to get an angel room this floor at least. Uh-oh. This is problematic. I could really use, like, the monstrance. Okay. Well, it was bound to happen. A box of spoilers. I'll pick it up, I'll use it once, I'll re-roll it. Libra is a very interesting item. I'm glad I got the spoilers first. Very interesting item. And it's also interesting that apparently the Lost doesn't have any stats to be rebalanced. I suppose that makes sense. But I'm bummed out. I should have used that earlier, the pinking shears. That could have been such a great run. Oh well. And yeah, I'll re-roll you. And that was not worth it. Cool, thanks. More time to talk, which is good, honestly, because I do genuinely have a lot to say about the Turnaway Study, after examining it in depth. Neat, thanks for the soul hearts. So to date, over 50 peer-reviewed publications have appeared that reference the data from the Turnaway Study. So again, it's... Well, I'm actually not sure what point I'm really trying to make there. Just that's the facts of it. Now, as far as the significance of the Turnaway Study, I've mentioned how... Oh! I'm not interested in the horse head, but okay. No, keep running. Flying around. I want you to run into more fires. Like that. But, like, more. Oh! There we are. Ah! That's on me. Run into the fires, please. No! Come on! There we are. Let me pick it up. Just in case. Oh yeah, it gives me everything. Libra. I said that like Sega. Anyway. Let me quote the author of the primary author of the study, Diana Foster. Her name is going to come up quite a bit. So, according to Diana Foster, regarding the Turnaway Study, let me focus this room, though. Also, I really hope I get the stopwatch again in a shop. That'd be nice. Diana Foster says that despite... this is a paraphrase, just so you know. Despite more than 50 scientific papers published because of the study, her own award-winning book on the study, and the study forming the basis of legal briefs at the Supreme Court and elsewhere, the national conversation remains stuck on ideological and political considerations. And now for an exact, or direct quote from Diana Foster again. Continuing the thought. The debate about abortion rarely focuses on what happens to the pregnant person, she said. It's framed as an abstract moral question in which everyone else weighs in without considering why someone would be in the circumstances where they want an abortion, and what happens to them and their lives when they can't get one. So that is Diana Foster, again, on the nature and significance of the Turnaway Study, which is her study. As I understand it, she really directed, like, the whole thing, pretty much, aside from some more assistive roles and data collection roles of others. She is ultimately the person with the reins to all of the data, basically. That's a weird way to put it, but trust me. Just trust me, bro. Just trust me. That's at least the impression I got a while back from looking into it, so maybe it's more than just a little impression then. But that is the gist of it, so you are aware. And she does make a good point. A lot of the pro-life, pro-choice debate, well, a lot of the debate from the side of pro-life, yeah, I'll take that, doesn't actually focus, or at least not very often, on the lives of the women who seek abortions, and instead focuses just on the moral aspect of it. That is a common criticism, and it is a fair and justifiable criticism too, in my opinion. She's right. But this isn't her first rodeo. That's a weird way to say that. Do I get you? Let me do... Oh. Okay. Yeah, more charm tears. More charm tears, please. I will get you. Ah. And now we'll do you. Ah. Okay, and now we go. Not there. Don't go there. So, she has an earlier work in Roca et alia. So, the et alia is Latin for and the others. You see it a lot in research publications. So, Roca is one of the doctors that was involved in the study as well. It seems mostly in the analysis of the data, from what I could tell, rather than data collection again. I could be wrong on that. Feel free to correct me if indeed I am. I don't think I am, but that wasn't something that I really researched. Yeah, sure. Oh. Well, I don't think I'm gonna be fast enough or good enough to get the boss rush and Hush, so it will default back to just going for Hush today, I suppose. Can I charm you, please? Well, this is okay. This is salvageable. Don't worry. I've got this. This is a little scary. You know, I don't think I got that, actually. Something tells me. Run number 3 of today. I was worried about this. I know the Lost is a fairly easy character. At least, according to... I understand how that sounds. Yeah, I'll take that. The Lost is like the one character where this is genuinely a good item. Cool. So, like, I know how that sounds considering I've died twice so far this episode. But genuinely, like, the Lost isn't that difficult of a character, it's just boss fights in particular are oftentimes hard, only because you can only get hit twice, and then you die. Fishtail. That's a pretty good one. My concern over playing the Lost is not the Lost itself, but my ability to play and talk. I will Take that. I miss Libra, though. Anyway, so Roca et alia and Diana Green is herself part of this same group, but you see Roca's name a few times. Back in 2013, they did a publication, also, from what I could tell, may have been on the same data as the Turnaway Study, but before the study was actually completed. Possibly, I think, maybe. It's by the same people as the Turnaway Study, so it wouldn't be a surprise at all. But back in 2013... Hold on. Get you cleared out. There we go. Get. There we are. Back in 2013, Oh, did I write down the name of the paper? I did not. I just left it as Roca et alia. Oh well. They have a paper... Yes. In which they say the vast majority of women who had obtained an abortion, 95%, reported 1 week later that having the procedure was the right decision for them. So the findings of the Turnaway Study are not actually that new, even though they're still from the same people, you know? Yeah, I'll not take the potato peeler, thank you very much. Actually, well, no, it's always going to be half off, isn't it? But let me take it so that I can re-roll it, hopefully, right now. How about that? Into there's options. How about that? Can I get damage? No, I can get speed. I will accept that. So the same study goes on to say... That felt fast. Hold on, I'm checking my notes for something real quick. Sorry. Oh, you're so good to me, little poison whatchamacallit. Can I get the rock? I did! That's big. Pin will die. Not as quickly as I was hoping, but Pin will die. And there, Pin has died. I actually should have waited until I beat you, and then I should have tried it. Marbles does nothing for me. I could re-roll, but I like you. Yeah, okay. Did I say everything that I wanted to say so far, at least? Yes, I believe I did. Get away. Okay, great. Yeah, I'll try. I'm really hoping for a teleport to the Angel Room, first and foremost. Ooh, don't spawn inside of me, that's inappropriate. Rude. Okay, that's fine. Never take pills in an unsafe environment if you don't know what they are. Bombs are key and amnesia. Neat. Well, I don't have that much to remember so far. Except this. Oh, I was gonna look so cool. Now I look lame. Bombs are key again. No, I'm good. I think. Well, actually I could have used that there. Oh well. Blow up. Oh, I didn't reach. What was even the point? I have so many keys that were bombs now. Well, that's not technically how it... whatever. There's the shop. I don't even have enough money, I just kind of expect that I will. Also, I have the keys to at least visit. And, of course, I could bomb. which, you know, they're keys, so they say. Let me go over here. Oh, perfect! This will give me 2 charges. Let's see. So, still talking about Roca et Alia from 2013. Oh, I don't have the stapler anymore. I was hoping I did. Never mind. A second one. Interesting. So, again, they concluded even back then that 95% of... Huh. I'll do it. It makes for some funny runs. They concluded that 95% of women don't regret their abortions, but they go on to say in 2013, not that this is a hugely important point, but I thought it was certainly worth mentioning. And that's it? Okay, cool. That even among those who had a primarily negative emotional response... Uh-oh. Look where I'm going. I thought that was a normal mushroom. There we go. Okay, cool. Why is he not dead yet? Why is he not dead yet? Why are you not dead yet? Okay. Hey, bud. Let's fight liquid with liquid, I guess. Oh yeah, I have significantly less damage, I forgot. That helps explain why I'm so slow, anyway. Oh, slick, if I do say so myself. And I ran straight into that one, but that's par for the course in this channel. Nice, nice. Which one gives me a greater stat up? I'm not sure. Yuck, honestly. Yuck. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And it gives me slightly better everything. Yay! Don't... Oh, that was close. I got very lucky, more than anything. Well, no, not really lucky, more unlucky, because I got stuck on the item pedestal. I thought I was moving away when I was not, in fact, moving away. Oh, no. I should be fine, have faith in me. Phew. Yeah, which one of these gives greater stat ups? I think it's this one, actually. Besides, it also gives me another mom item. Anyway, let's see. Even among those who had a primarily negative emotional response, 84% felt that the abortion was the correct choice. Among those who expressed any regret about the abortion, 89% felt that the abortion was the right choice. I'll take it. More general stat ups again. I hate this boss when I am the lost. But I'm able to get pretty far away, so that's good. Hey, bud. Uh-huh. Where are you? There you are. Nice. Oh, so good. So again, nothing new as far as old research that supports the same conclusions. Although it may have been on the same dataset, it is certainly from the same authors. So if there is anything wrong with the data, or suspicious about the authors, it would apply to both, really. And I'm not necessarily saying that there will be, I'm saying that there could be. But the Turnaway Study has generated a small amount of controversy. Actually, I don't need to be bombing these. But I keep doing it. I just keep doing it. The sun. Very nice. Very nice. So, the first of many controversies comes from David C. Reardon. His name shows up a lot as far as professionals who publish things that are against the Turnaway Study. And I love me a good pill with Libra. Let's see, when was this? 2018. No, that is useless. That I will take, because that's a third mom item. Amnesia, I don't need. Bombs are key. I'm excited is dangerous. Okay, well, now I know. In 2018, Reardon published The Embrace of the Pro-Abortion Turnaway Study. Turnaway Study. Which, well, I'll get into a more thorough analysis in a bit, but perhaps the title itself is already a bit suspicious for something that should ideally be a nice third-party, unbiased evaluation of a study. Nevertheless, it is still controversy. And it's not the only controversy, although, again, a lot of it really does come from this one guy. Death. Interesting. Death. Get death. Yeah. Whoa. That was very close, wasn't it? Yeah, I'll take belly button. Not bad. And give me the sun back. Let's see, Reardon and also Kathy Rafferty published in 2023 The Turnaway Study, a case of self-correction in science upended by political motivation and unvetted findings. That was excuse me, I read the wrong line. I read the exact wrong line. Oops. I do that sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm half right. I read the wrong authors for the... Or maybe I read the right authors for the wrong study. Oops. Disregard that. I will accept you. Yeah, that should be an extra big buff to both. So David Reardon and Catherine Rafferty actually published in 2023 The Effects of Abortion Decision Rightness and Decision Type on Women's Satisfaction and Mental Health. That's the actual name of it. The more you know. And that one is unbiased enough to have been actually published. Although, again, I'll get to a better analysis of it in a few minutes here. There was a retracted study by Priscilla K. Coleman called The Turnaway Study, a case of... Oh, that's... yeah. The Turnaway Study, a case of self-correction in science upended by political motivations and unvetted findings. That was, again, Priscilla, not David Reardon. Sorry, David. But that one was retracted over fears of... well, not fears. I shouldn't say fears. Over the article not being unbiased. As you may be able to guess from the title alone. But again, that still isn't it. Diana... oh, not that. And then Diana Foster, the director of Answer, again, the company that did the Turnaway Study, that owns the data to it, publicly released a commentary on the now retracted article. And the name of that commentary is... Hold on. I mean, it's really just... okay, yeah. So, Diana Green Foster et alia, commentary. The Turnaway Study, a case of self-correction in science upended by political motivation and unvetted findings. Now, I've laid out some of the biggest pieces in this chessboard here, but that isn't all of them, really. There are a few more that I won't talk about today, because I'm not sure I could really get to them, but again, these are the biggest ones anyways. Lots of money. Also, this isn't even an XL floor. Why is this so big? Don't make a joke. Don't you dare say that's what he or she said. Or they. Don't you dare say it. Don't even think it, okay? A chest within a chest. Greed within a shop. Great. Depths 1. I am running slow. Of all things. Oh well. It is what it do be. I mean, I can pick you up and gain 5 cents. Whoa! I just unlocked you. I don't like you, though. I'm sorry. I don't like you that much. Well, you know, I'll take it. Book of Revelations. I like it, but I have to reroll. Because I'm keeping the Eternal D6. Go get him. Oh, well, I killed him first. Sorry. Finders, keepers, killers, beepers. Let's see, there is a fantastic Substack blog that I found. The author's name is Nullside. They haven't posted much in the past 2 years, really. But they do an excellent job breaking down some of the... mainly the... I mean, they have a few articles on abortion more generally, but they do a fantastic job really breaking down David Reardon's main criticism. His peer-reviewed one, the one that's not retracted. And now to get into more of an actual commentary. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, I was waiting for that. Come on. There we are. Unlock the ash pit. I will take you, because that should complete my set. Doesn't it? Yeah, so Nullsci, whoever they are, they do a great job analyzing the first article. No, hold on. No, the second article I mentioned, Reardon and Catherine Rafferty's article. And can I... Well, that's neat, but no thanks. The devil? The devil is in the details, if you didn't know. He hides out there, a lot. Whoa, that dodge. Do it. I knew you'd do it. Whoa. Come on. There we go. I hate that boss. This boss, I'm more fine with. I say as I die to this boss. That move always hits me. Whoa. I wish the toxic trail dealt more damage, but that's really just on me, because I threw all my damage out thanks to Libra. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay, good. Good. We are fine, except for that. I knew it was a possibility. I mean, I can't really prove that I knew it, but trust me, it was. And I knew it. Don't run into him. I almost ran into him. Oh, and I am immune to explosions. I forgot about that. Very nice. Yeah, not making it to the boss rush. Not in the next 15 seconds, anyway. Oh, and that is why the toxic trail is really good. Basically, let me give you the summary of... Oh, you transmuted him. Let me give you the summary of a lot of the back and forths of these different articles. Whoa. Basically, the gist of what's really going on here is that a lot of the criticisms and commentaries on the Turnaway Study are not very impressive. They are very weak at best. Mostly. Asterisk. I don't want to get rid of my sun card. Give me something good. That's not great. Can I get a third trinket? No. Oh, that's a ripoff. I want to say Fishtail is a really good trinket. It's something like 50% of rooms I get the Beelzebub effect. But as far as flies being my friends, something like that. Oh, and go back to the item room, you dolt. You dimwit. More generally, not just in reference to the Turnaway Study. No. Arrgh. Yeah. Not just in reference to the Turnaway Study, but looking through some other research backed by some pro-life groups, I have generally found in my studies of really everything related to abortion over the past week or so that pro-life groups are not... their research and their science, quote-unquote science, is good enough to be published, but only barely. It's pretty sloppy work, and at times it is a wonder how and why some of these things got peer-reviewed at all. Because... Nice. Yeah. Hold on. Thinking. Yeah, I'm going up, and that is not good for me. Bye-bye. That is good for me. Come on. I'm burning daylight here. Moonlight here. I'm burning here. The tower, I'm not interested. Who is it? The moon, I'm not interested. And it's nothing. And I got the Glyph of Balance. Unfortunate, but whatever, I'll take it. Again, just a lot of pro-life backed. I'll use it here. I'm glad I used it here. I'm not sure I would have gone the correct way. A lot of pro-life backed research is sloppy, and a lot of the specific criticisms levied by Reardon against the Turnaway Study are also moot, mostly, or just kind of inappropriate. It's weird. It's really weird. Yes! Range up. It's weird that you have two different peer-reviewed studies. Well, it's hard to directly compare these for reasons that I'll get to shortly. But, like, you have these peer-reviewed studies that are done off of the Turnaway Study, and then you have Reardon's counter-study, basically, which is worth taking a look at, but it's also peer-reviewed and yet directly contradicts the other peer-reviewed work. But what's really going on is the data is being compared and saying that it's maybe not authentic. It's not so much the studies itself. It's an awkward way to put it, but let me help refine some of these issues. So, for example, if you really look into Reardon's work, his study particularly, well, he did, so there were 2 different articles by Reardon that I mentioned, right? The first one was 2018. It was just sort of an analysis of the Turnaway Study, and I'll actually get to that one second because I think that brings up one very important and valid point. No. Yes. Sure. Actually, that's a flat increase, so yeah. His second article in 2023, the one that he did with Catherine Rafferty. Oh, I want it. I'll take it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, I love to see a good build come together. That was actually not just a further analysis of the Turnaway Study, but also a very poor analysis of the Turnaway Study, weirdly enough. But it was also a counter-study. And in his counter-study, what he found was not that, 99 or 95 or anything close to that number of, or percent of women regretted their abortions. What he found was that only about, did not regret. I don't want to say the wrong thing. So flip that number, I guess. What he found was, in his study, only approximately 3 out of 10 women did not regret their abortions. That the majority of women, 70%, either felt that having an abortion was either mildly against their beliefs and morals, and there was nearly, I believe, 25% of women total that felt that having an abortion was undesired completely, that they were coerced into it. Now, that is an extremely interesting result and highlights some of the nuances of both pro-life and pro-choice data collection. Another angel room. That is fantastic. I'll take that because it's a book. No. Oh! Wow! But the study itself is also highly suspicious for one main reason. And that's that, weirdly enough... Oh, hold on. Oh, I didn't really want to take... Whatever. Oh, luck! Yeah, that's what I need. I'm thinking... How would that work? Also, this is the correct answer. I'll take it. I have no idea how this will function, but we'll go with it. Anyway, there's one main detail of the counter-study that is, I won't say buried, but is highly suspect nevertheless, and that's that the women involved in the study were not random, or I mean they were random, but they were exclusively women between the ages of 40 and 44. Why? I think there's an answer to it, although this is speculation, admittedly. I think the answer is that by focusing on older women, like boomers, to use a somewhat derogatory term, but it highlights the fact that, older people are more conservative and would regret something like an abortion more because of conservatism, because of their higher likelihood to be... I can't actually fight these guys, can I? Yeah, I can't. Oh, no. This is a battle against time. Oh. Oh. This is a race against time, and I am losing. Oh. 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 No! I can't believe that. I can't believe it. I am frustrated. I am so frustrated. That was so good. Honestly, it would have been a lot better if I didn't get rid of Libra. No, sorry, if I didn't take Libra. I am mixing up all of the negatives today, aren't I? Ludovico technique also really screwed me over there, admittedly. It was a fun thought. I shouldn't have risked it. That was such a stacked run. And now this episode is going to take forever. But on the bright side, I'm going to be able to get through literally everything I want to talk about. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me reset for, like, a floor. Mentally, I mean. Yeah, give me something good. No. That's okay. I was prepared to just be done with it. To never have to do Hush with Painted Lost again. Now watch this vanish the item that I've been slaving over. Oh. This is basically the same thing, but worse. For the Lost, anyway. And I'm not going to be able to reroll whatever is coming. Honestly, not bad, considering the boss keeps walking into me. I need more damage. Desperately. Ow. If I die, I'm satisfied with that. Thank you. Do it. Do it. Whoa! No. But, wow. Wow. Goated run begins now? Question mark? Question marks? Still resetting mentally. I'll let you know when my reboot is finished. But let's get a third guppy item. It's not, but that's okay. That is good damage. If I could get 2 bombs, I might be able to unlock... At this rate, I'm gonna get the blanket unlocked this run, aren't I? Huh. Also, Dad's key. Oh. Should have used... whatever. Show me a crawl space. Sure enough. Let me go get it. And, of course, take out all the fires. I'm surprised that final fire didn't have a penny for me to waste 2 more seconds of my run on. No. Not interested. But I appreciate it. Also, no, never mind. I took the Mark of the Beast, the 666, didn't I? Yeah. Or whatever it's actually called. The Mark? I think it's just the Mark. Mark Zuckerberg. Of the Beast. My reboot is almost complete. I'm like 80% of the way there. Just hold on. That was risky. That was also risky. I don't want to die, particularly. Not today. Do I think I reroll this one. I'll accept it. I'm not happy, but I'll accept it. Okay, reboot complete. Absolutely, I'll take that. Gears up and size down. So, again, like, his counter study is so suspicious. The selection of women aged 40 to 44 really suggests to me that he's trying to get a conservative audience, or, not audience. He's trying to get conservative women. I think. Maybe. I don't think you could prove that in court. But it's such a strange subset of the population when research shows, as I mentioned a few days ago, that most women are, like, age who seek divorces, not divorces. Yes, I will take that, absolutely. That is a great item. It could potentially give me an extra life. I'll not reroll that. I'll reroll you and kill it. Most women who seek abortions are in their 20s, and the second highest demographic are women in their 30s. So, why women aged 40 to 44? It just screams suspicious. Aw, man, I was hoping for a third guppy item. I should be satisfied with what I already have. And again, most of the points... most of the points that Reardon... Oh, I need a key for that, duh. Hopefully there are 2 rooms left. Most of the points he brings up are kind of moot or nonsensical because, like, he complains about the Turnaway Study's... Oh, cool. Selection of women, saying that it was misrepresentative of them to only look at women who were just prior to or just past the gestational limit. But it's like, that's kind of the whole point of the study, is that's where the effects of abortion are clearest, is looking at that line. Another major complaint of his that has been echoed around a lot, like, I have seen briefings for Congress people based on these criticisms, by the way. I think you can look this up and see how this counter study and some of the points it brings up are being used, even though the points aren't good. Which is kind of the danger of having something peer-reviewed that shouldn't be. I want to find the shop first, as always. Another major point that he brings up that isn't that much of a point, really, at all, is that something... I forget what percentage, I didn't write it down, but it's something like 60 or 70% of people involved in the study ended up dropping out by the final check-in. So they were checked in, they had a check-in regarding the Turnaway Study and, like, data collection, I want to say half a year for 5 years after the study, something like that. I hope this isn't a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. I instinctively picked up the shiny thing, basically. Yeah, I'll take that. Ooh, fascinating. Yo. All right. So the complaint is that most women actually drop out of the study, and that means the study isn't that good or representative, when it's like, if you've looked at almost any other long-term longitudinal study like the Turnaway Study, it actually is slightly better than average as far as retention of people involved in the study. So this is absolutely not a valid criticism. Why is this appearing in a peer-reviewed publication? Does it not know how studies work? Or, like, common metrics of studies? I guess not. But there is one point that it brought up that, again, I thought was compelling, and actually I haven't seen refuted. I mentioned before that Diana Foster herself, as well as a number of others, did respond to the commentary. The commentary wasn't by Reardon, again, it was by Priscilla Coleman. But the authors of the Turnaway Study responded to the commentary and addressed some of the issues that I just mentioned. But one thing that they did not mention at all, one rather important thing to consider involving the integrity of the data itself and the methodology of its collection. Yeah, I'll take you. That's great. Great item. And I think I take you. I'm not happy about it. Let me see if there's a pill and if it's gulp. It's a long shot. There is not. But I really would appreciate the various bombs and keys and pennies. So, again, there is one core criticism of the study that I have never seen addressed. Whoa. Okay. And that is that supposedly the study itself is ultimately dependent on, like, as part of their selection of women to be involved in the study. Well, hold on, let me back up. Let me think about this more carefully. I don't want to say something that's, like, blatantly incorrect here. Like, I want to be as accurate as possible, rather. Obviously, but that's what's hiding up here. Okay. Ow. That... Okay, fine. Whatever. Oh, good. A second bomb. That's what I needed. I sounded so sarcastic saying that, didn't I? Yeah, I'll blow you up because I need that chance, that good chance. The criticism is that ultimately women, I want to say how the study determined that women regretted their abortions or not came down to a single voluntary response survey. At least that's how it was portrayed in some of the criticisms, and never refuted either. Like, this feels like the sort of thing that you would probably refute if it were untrue. Almost certainly refute if it were untrue. I wanted to check, just in case. And I'll take you. And I'm glad I did. But that's something to do with how women were involved in the... I'm not saying this super well, am I? And I will take that, I think. Women were approached... I do have that battery. Let me take the battery. So women were singled out by by people who worked as part of the study. That is even worse. Cool. In a non-random way, of course, they aren't really a random sample to begin with, so it's not super surprising, because their composition was, again, intentionally women who were either just above or just below the line to be rejected, the gestational limit line. Okay, and the matter is resolved. But that when they were initially approached, supposedly at least, according to the criticism, they were basically asked yes or no, women who did receive an abortion. Only women who did, not women who didn't. Although that's also kind of also not true, because of reasons that I will explain later. Much to the shame of the author of the study, I am not making much sense at all. I'll take you. You're not bad. Ugh. I'm a word salad at the moment. Absolute word salad. Basically, there are claims that the study is based off of a voluntary response survey. And the survey consisted of a single question, yes or no, do you regret having your abortion? Or would you have regretted having your abortion for women who did have their abortions? And that was largely, according to Reardon's claim, at least, that was largely how the study was composed, how women were selected for the study, something like that. The claim doesn't make that much sense, but it's weird that it was not refuted either, when they refuted so many other things about the claims that Reardon made and the criticisms that he levied. Maybe the authors of the Turnaway Study just believe that criticism to be nonsense because they didn't actually use a voluntary response survey, but it would have certainly had that effect on women. If you don't know, a voluntary response survey in statistics is known as a lot of bias. Especially with how the questions are composed. You need to very carefully select the questions that make up any voluntary response survey. Oh. To ensure that they will not create any bias. Because if only people who respond very positively or very negatively to a survey are going to be the ones that respond, then you're going to want to ideally frame your questions in the least... I'm excited. In the least provoking way as possible, basically. And the nature of it being on abortion and regret around abortion does strongly suggest to me, intuitively, although I certainly don't have data to prove this, that perhaps there is a lot of underlying bias here that would suggest that women who did regret their abortions simply didn't state so out of concerns of I'm jumping ahead, out of concerns for shame, basically, even though the data's anonymized. Yeah, no guppy item. I could re-roll that for what reason, I don't know. I was excited again. It is nice to have Bookworm, though. Everything jar. Neat. This is quite the tangent I'm going on. The physical tangent. The, you know, since I know where the boss is, and I'm going the opposite direction, basically. I'm tempted. Give me something good. You did not. I'm upset. Oh, get you out of here, get you out of here, and get you out of here. Nice! So, again, like, the study itself is not actually seemingly based upon a voluntary response survey, although we don't actually know, because the data is private, not public. Which is a big point I will get to in a minute here, next, really, but... So even if it's not based on a voluntary response survey, it could end up having an effect similar to one since it's a long-term longitudinal study. Like, as soon as women are theoretically, anyway, asked the first question of whether or not they regret their abortions, that could be very stigmatizing, and so only women who don't regret it would be more likely to respond, probably by a significant margin, and as the... Where's the item room? Am I crazy? Huh? Okay, I must have missed a door on a wall somewhere. I have to have been. That sentence didn't make any sense either. Where are all of the doors? So we go this way, we go this way, we go this... I didn't finish exploring over here. That explains it. I appreciate the money. Come on. Okay, which means you must be over here. Aha. What was I saying? What was the last point I was making? I am not into... Of course. I mean, I would have liked the slight damage up, but... whatever. Urgh. Of course it was right near there. Oh well. And now I'm not going to be able to re-roll a boss item that's probably going to end up being health, isn't it? So, yeah, that's what it is. Wait. Good. So, again, a lot of women are likely not to respond to that, at least in theory. In theory, as is speculated. A lot of women who would have regretted their abortions are speculated to have not responded. And that is sort of suggested by the data in both Reardon's work and the Turnaway Study. Oh. Nice. Okay. Insofar as the fact that the Turnaway Study saw a 70%... Yeah. So 70% of people stopped following the study, which means 30% did keep up with the study, and Reardon's study on, you know, women specifically aged 40 to 44 for whatever reason, who knows, also found that about 30% of women didn't regret their abortions in his specific study. I mean, his study is still very weird. But those numbers do match up, and, you know, assuming he didn't completely fabricate his data, but it's still peer-reviewed, so probably not. That does mean something, you know? It is remarkable that those numbers line up. And... that's not gonna help me. That might. The tower is not, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't enter there because I'm a fool. But, let's see. Bigger problem. Like, as strange as, or as compelling as that point may be, that perhaps I don't really care for that. Oh, I just realized the modem could be very good, could be very bad for me. I didn't really think it through, did I? I will accept Kane's other eye. It's not that bad. Amnesia is fine. Range down is not fine, but I'll take it. I think... perhaps... Ooh, neat. I might take that. I'll take you, though. To be honest, look at that damage. Thanks to Guppy. Whoa. Okay. Come on, buddy. Dance with me. There we are. That wasn't so bad, was it? And now I can grab you. Perfect. Dead. Oh, it's so good. And something that isn't the tower. Fantastic. The Magician or the Empress? I don't know which one I would prefer, honestly. And this turned out not to be the correct way after all. Oh well. I do need money for later. Oh. I don't need that, but thanks for the offer. More friends till the end, thank you. Speed down, no. How am I doing on time? Not great. There we are, and not too happy with that. Yeesh. Okay, I need to use my powers of deduction to read the map and figure out where to go. Except there is no map. Ah! On the bright side, I am fast, I am well protected, and I have 10 lives. And I do high damage, too. There's that, too. Cool, money. I'll come back for the money. I am back for the money. I don't like how they increase in size like that to suit the mood. But they're gone now. They can't hurt me anymore. Go, go, go. I really hope I get the Fly Friends one next floor. And that's Mom. Mother transformation. Okay, please don't be Curse the Lost. I can go up or I can go down. I think I go down. Show yourself. I will use death in here. Why not? Now I only have him to deal with. That is fine. I am curious, and I do have the time, actually, now. That is useless to me. That is useless to me. Curse of the Maze! Great! More friends till the end. I've gotten so many of those. And another exact room, huh? I will go back and see. Huh. Friend finder, perhaps? Is it worth keeping? Maybe. Probably not, I'll be honest. Probably not. Ooh, not happy with the fact that I'm not getting enough charges. I don't want to go out of my way to get more charges. That's such a hassle. Do it. Okay, I won't re-roll. No. I won't re-roll the friend finder yet. Not worth it. Cool. That's all I needed to know. Oh, yeah, I could go here. I really want one more reroll. I really do. I'll go over here. This is so complex. What exactly my strategy is here. Actually, I don't think I'll take the friend finder after all. Well, it's over there now. So maybe I'll go to this one and re-roll it. Cool! That's what I was afraid of. Yeah, no slap, no slap. While I'm here, I might as well... I've got a lot of friends to find. And bye-bye, friend finder. It truly went bye-bye, huh? I got nothing in the end. I'm still comfortably gonna make Hush, at least. So there's that. I just hope I don't die again. Or it will be finally the end of the episode. Which might be for the best, I don't know. I do really still have a lot more to talk through, and a lot that I want to talk through. And dead. And no... Mega Satan. Man, why couldn't one of the previous runs have been successful? That is an awful item for me. That's nice. That's nice. Increasing my damage is really important. That is awful. Rubber cement has some amazing synergies, honestly. I'll take you, and we'll re-roll again, and that's really neat, thank you. I'll take you, and it didn't give me charge like I was kind of hoping it would. And we'll donate the rest while I bomb you. Of course. Neat. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fight you first, and not use the Empress yet, and then use it as soon as the second phase starts. That way, if my understanding of how this boss works is correct, there should be far less armor on the boss. On Hush proper, that is. Well, maybe not far less, but it should be a lot less. Okay. I like the fight so far. He's glitching out a lot because of my insane luck. And thankfully, all of my friends have died. And I know that sounds weird. It sounds pretty weird to say, but hear me out. They would have really cluttered the battlefield. I will fight these guys and get more friends. I will get so many friends. Oh, so many friends. And Sci-Fly will protect me the whole time. It's beautiful, really. This is weird, but without Mega Satan, I will go for Delirium, though, since that is still an option. So, Yeah. This is gonna be a weird, long run. Weird and long. That was my name back in college. Don't get close to the enemy. Don't fraternize. Fraternize, that's the word. I am starting to fry myself out, if you couldn't tell. Which is a shame, because... Oh, there is more I want to say. Legitimately. I know I've said that a few times now and haven't really shown it. But trust me on it, bro. That's fine. And finally... Sworn Protector, that's what I unlocked. And nothing at all. Great. We go up. Okay. And it's Curse of the Lost every single time. Arrgh. I'm a pirate. Because real pirates definitely said arrgh. Don't die. At least I'll have accomplished beating Hush, you know. At least there's that. I'm not dead yet, why am I complaining? Sure. Show me the moon. I'll take that in prep for next floor. Where am I now? Only 5... Oh, that's where I was. Only 5 keys is not great, but I'll accept it. I have gotten that room so many times! And all of this was a dead end. Neat. On the bright side, I have a lot of friends that I have found, even without the friend finder. Curious. Where was I in talking about the Turnaway Study? Because it matters. The study matters. And the analysis of it matters. Let's see, so... Right. Potential for there to be this problem with the data that it's, like... that women who would regret are not likely to stick with the study, really answer it, because it's effectively voluntary response. Kind of, sort of. Which is true, and again, the data is supported by Reardon's weird study, but there's a much bigger problem with the data itself, and that's that you can't access the data. The data isn't publicly available. Now, there are good reasons for that, generally. Number one, I don't think there's anything wrong necessarily with just a private company owning data in the first place. But second of all, and I guess I'm saving the Empress for later, this is a dangerous situation I've created. I'm losing track of the tiers of the enemy. Go, 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 go! Aww. So there are pretty good ethical reasons to not release very sensitive data, and they could certainly try and release data that is anonymized. Boom. Ludovico technique again, huh? I don't know how that would interact with rubber cement, so no. I'll take that. And I will try to go through as many rooms as possible because of my luck. Knowing my luck. Wow, it was my first guess. I'm impressed. So, again, the fact that the data isn't publicly available isn't that bad by itself, but it's still concerning that nobody can actually attest to the quality of the data or how it was collected or anything else. In fact, the peer review process doesn't require anyone to really evaluate data at all. The fact that there have been over 50 studies completed that are peer-reviewed that have mentioned the Turnaway Study is nice, I guess, but it's weird in that looking through the various journals myself and looking through those same journals' policies on data sharing, specifically, that's what it's called, what I have seen is that there has only been one journal, only one, that says that it requires data sharing, but even then, it doesn't actually. So the one journal was AEA, the American Economic Association. Bye-bye. And their specific policy says that data may be withheld for confidentiality or legal reasons. Yes, some journals do require data sharing in order to be published, and in fact about 11.9% of journals do. That is a great item for me. Good, good. He's out of the picture immediately. Would have loved to go to Mega Satan here, but what can you do? Yeah, I'll take it. I'm ready. I don't need to have that great of a build. I just need to survive. Which is mostly guaranteed thanks to Sci-Fly. What I wouldn't give for homing, though. Or something that buffed my fly allies, like more damage. There we go. The goal is completed. Oh, yes. So again, only 11% of journals, roughly 12%, actually require any sort of data sharing. I'll re-roll that. Okay, that's fine. A further 23.3% encourage data sharing but don't necessitate it, with all other journals then having no clear statement or no statement at all on data. Okay. Reroll Tammy's head. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Bye-bye. Anemic. It's a range up. I'll take range up. I accept those as currency. Do I have any? I don't. I'll take it. Tentatively. Damage down and luck down is not what I want to see, but I got an extra... Oh, nice. I got an extra tears up from that, which is pretty cool. Oh, yes. That is huge. Huge for this build. I really wish I was going to Mega Satan. Look at that. Look at how crazy that is. And Cricket's head. Dang it, Mega Satan is gonna be like the one boss I'm not gonna get. Ah! Whoa. Dead. Almost dead. Dead. And final room. Do I keep the devil or the Empress? I guess the devil. Only because I don't feel like going all the way back there. Sue me. And delirium time. Anyway, yeah, so you can't confirm the data, and confirming the data isn't part of the peer review process either. Nobody actually looks at the data itself. People are just, oh, There we go. People are just judging the methodologies, the conclusions, based on the data that is generally assumed to just be good data, which is concerning. I wish more and more journals would have data sharing policies. It's not that I believe the general public always needs to know the data. Again, there are perfectly good legal and moral reasons, ethical reasons to withhold the data from the public, or at least anonymize it. Oh, really? Really, boy? Where is it? Oh, I have the fairy, and... right. But still, the fact that there was only one journal that this was submitted to that had a data sharing policy, and even then, it was more of an encouragement policy than a requirement policy, is not great. Because I, again, am still concerned about the nature of that one criticism, although, you know, thinking through it, talking through it out loud here, sure, why not? The more I'm realizing that maybe that criticism is really just the, wow, and he's gone. And that's gone. Maybe that criticism, the reason why it wasn't addressed is because it actually was addressed, now that I'm thinking it through. Another The Empress card. In other words, that the true criticism... I didn't want Jera. Oh well. The true criticism is about the number of drop-offs, which, again, wasn't that bad. But no, it's not really, though, because... there is a valid complaint if the very first question of this survey ends up turning off so many people that would have otherwise answered because of social stigma. There is more that could have been done about it. I recognize that their question, like, could have been a little better, but it's not terrible itself. The singular question that determined whether or not women regretted their abortions. I was gonna be so upset. Yeah, sure. I was gonna be so upset if that ended up being an angel room, but it wasn't, so I'm not upset. That's how it works. The singular question was... I don't have it written down, so excuse me for paraphrasing here, but, like, do you regret your abortion? Or do you wish you had had an abortion? There he is. Previously. That's what the question was. And this also can't be delirium. Hey, bud. Welcome back. Whoa. That was close. That was also close. I think Sci-Fly has got me covered, though. So many items gone. Also, there's exactly one boss that could be delirium now that I'm looking at it. That's kind of funny. The drop-off rate is an invalid criticism, but arguing that the question itself intentionally, or possibly intentionally, or not even that, even less than that, that the question could drive people who would, like, it would affect the outcome of the demographic. It would prevent the ultimate demographic of women from being truly representative. That's the concern. And that is a reasonable concern. So many items gone. So many. Anyway, it's It's time to get delirious. That's a good amount of damage. Where? There. Okay. Stay there. Stay. But the... Uh-oh. Interestingly enough, there is one gigantic criticism of the study, though, that comes from the study itself. Not even a third party, not a pro-life organization, but the study itself has the biggest single criticism of the study. And what do you mean? What am I talking about? I'm talking about what wasn't released to the public. And great. Yay. I will go re-roll that item one more time. As I finish this up. Why not? As it turns out in the book, again, because the study itself was never publicly released, really. Oh, fitting. The study was never publicly released. You can't publicly access the data. It's generally behind a paywall. And that paywall is known as the book, the Turnaway Study. But if you buy the book, the Turnaway Study, what you will find... Oh, holy card! What you will find on page 126 of the Turnaway Study is this. 1 week after abortion denial, 65% of participants reported still wishing they could have had the abortion. After the birth, only 12% of women reported they still wished that they could have had the abortion. At the time of the child's first birthday, 7% still wished they could have had the abortion. By 5 years, this went down to 4%. Paraphrasing now, only women with less social support from family and friends and women who have had an easy time deciding to have the abortion were more likely to continue to wish they had received an abortion. Even stratifying by women who gave their children up for adoption after 5 years, 15% who gave up for adoption wished for an abortion compared to 2% of women who parented who still regretted. In other words, this isn't actually a criticism of the study, but it's a criticism of the results. Namely, that it may as well be true that 95% of women who didn't regret having an abortion truly didn't. That number is accurate because, I mean, honestly, if they're seeking an abortion in the first place, then they think it's the right decision in the first place. So, yeah, it's not that surprising. But what really is surprising is that 5 years later, 96% of women do regret trying to have an abortion. Women who gave birth, women who were denied an abortion and then gave birth 5 years later, 96% of them effectively did regret trying to have an abortion in the first place. And that data is only published in the book, in the paywall version of this study. That data, those statistics, are not referenced in any of the studies that the Turnaway Study is based off of. It's not referenced in any of the news coverage it got. That is a majorly pro-life point to make. And because it's a pro-life point, the study doesn't make it at all. They don't mention it at all. It's just not there. It's only here in the book, on page 126. And even then, it's framed as though this is almost a sort of psychological manipulation of having the child. That the child is somehow manipulating the mother into caring more for it. And there is somewhat of an argument for that. I get it. But also, there are arguments for why that would also be a natural reaction, not just psychological, but like a very natural ethical reaction to raising a child is that you learn to love it and appreciate it, and then it's like you feel bad. Yes, that's not the child manipulating you. It's ultimately, what I've gotten from all this, from everything regarding the Turnaway Study, is generally pro-life science and statistics and arguments are pretty skewed and sloppy, to be honest. Generally, people on the pro-choice side, researchers that is, are better about those things. But that doesn't mean they're free of manipulation. There are still some areas in which there could be questionable data collection here. But more importantly, much more importantly, as it turns out, the study kind of doesn't matter at all. So maybe we shouldn't be paying attention to this at all. Maybe we shouldn't be getting so worked up about this. Yeah, so, shame on you for getting worked up over this, I guess. Not shame on me. No. Of course not. No. Shame on you. What do I mean? I mean the fact that it says that, effectively 95% of women who had an abortion feel it was the right decision. 96% of women who didn't have an abortion but wanted one said that they were glad. So, what do we do with this information? I mean, all in all, I think this aids the pro-life argument more than the pro-choice argument, ironically, but even then not by much, because the pro-choice side is still going to focus naturally on how the women feel, and in either case, they said that, female empowerment, the ability to choose their own life course is important, of course, to the pro-choice side, even though the pro-life outcome of this, that's a weird way to phrase it, even though the outcome of having the child against their will was undesired initially, that's still probably going to be the point that a lot of them focus on. But it's the bigger point is that 95% or arguably 99%, depending where you look, still don't regret their abortion after the fact. It frustrates me when people withhold information. It frustrates me when people muddy the water. It frustrates me when people collect statistics that are skewed. And what I've seen is some of that on both sides. That's my summary here. But I'll stop talking now. It's been nearly 2 hours. I wish I'd gotten Mega Satan. Ugh. Oh well. Oh well. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something about the Turnaway Study. And I hope to see you again next time, where I will be finishing the conversation on abortion once and for all. As far as this channel is concerned, anyway. Take care.